Let's be honest for a moment. Do you feel like an emotional puppet reacting to everything and everyone? That feeling of being pulled in every direction with no control? Does a single comment have the power to ruin your entire day? That careless word that echoes in your mind for hours? Has a disappointment or betrayal ever broken your spirit? Has a simple misunderstanding ever turned into a war for you? If you feel this way, know that you are not alone, and more importantly, know that there is a way out. The solution begins with a powerful truth the Stoics knew well. No one has ever truly made you angry. They've only revealed the places inside you that haven't healed yet. The real strength you are about to discover isn't about being untouchable, but about being unshaken. But I need to be sincere. This channel doesn't offer easy fixes. It will show you the strings that pull you like an emotional puppet. It will expose the truth that your peace was never in other people's hands. If you only seek comfort and prefer the unexamined life, with all due respect, this place is not for you. But if you seek truth, if you are ready to stop reacting and start leading yourself from within, then subscribe, because you are choosing to walk this path with intention. Now let's dive into the principles that will give you back control. Main script 1. The true nature of anger, a mirror to the soul. Let's talk about anger. Not the blind rage that erupts in fire and fury, but that quieter ember that burns slowly within. The anger that simmers when someone lets you down. Think of the last time anger took over you. That feeling of injustice that whispers, "How could they?" The easy answer is to blame them. The person who was rude, disrespectful, or careless. But the Stoic answer, the answer that sets you free, is deeper. Most of the time, anger isn't about them at all. It's about the script you wrote in your mind that they failed to follow. You expected loyalty or gratitude or a simple thank you. And when reality didn't match your expectation, your mind screamed. But who said the world must follow your script? Psychiatrist Carl Jung revealed a powerful secret. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your anger is not an attack, it's a map that shows you exactly where your armor is thin, where your old wounds still ache. Stoicism hands you this map and teaches you how to read it. Instead of lashing out, the Stoic response is to pause, to trace that anger back to its root and ask, what was I hoping for that didn't happen? What part of me felt threatened? Imagine your friend canceling plans on you again, and you're fuming. The anger you feel isn't about the cancellation. It's about the fear of being unimportant, an echo of a past pain where you felt forgotten. Recognizing this isn't weakness. It's the first step towards unshakable strength. Socrates was right. The unexamined life is not worth living. Examining your anger is where true wisdom and your freedom begins. Practice. The next time the wave of frustration comes, don't drown in it. Take a deep breath and use it as an opportunity. Ask, what expectation of mine was just violated? You will discover that by doing this, you not only dissolve the anger, but you also get to know yourself in a way you never thought possible. 2. Silence as a power move. The strength of restraint. On the stage of life, the loudest voice doesn't always win. We live in a world that celebrates the sharpest comeback, the most viral clapback. We've been taught that silence is an admission of defeat. That is a lie that keeps you weak. In many confrontations, silence isn't surrender. It's the purest display of power and self-control. Be brutally honest with yourself. How many times have you regretted words spoken in the heat of the moment? Words that echo to this day. Now, how many times have you regretted taking a strategic pause? Silence is your refuge. As the great Seneca said, unrestrained anger is often more hurtful to us than the original injury that provokes it. When you react on impulse, you give away your power. When you choose silence, you take it back. Think of silence as your secret weapon, The moment the provocation comes, your instinct screams to fight back, resist, pause. In that space of stillness, the magic happens. The fog of emotion dissipates and you see the situation with clarity. You separate your wounded ego from your true values. You are the conductor of your response, not a slave to the reaction. Plato taught us the difference. A wise man speaks because he has something to say, a fool because he has to say something. You do not need to fill every silence. By refusing to engage in every petty battle, you save your energy for the wars that truly matter. Silence is your shield. Practice. The next time you feel your blood boil, accept the Stoic challenge. Pause. Count to 5. Let the other person exhaust their arguments into the void. Your job is not to win the argument, it is to protect your peace. Remember, the strongest reaction is often none at all. This isn't passivity, it's power. 3. Laugh at the ridiculous stuff. The healing power of humor. Something strange and liberating happens when you stop taking life so seriously. Not in a careless way, but in a grounded way that says, I'm not letting this nonsense steal my peace. Life throws curveballs daily. A rude driver, a passive-aggressive comment, a plan that gets derailed. And yet, we act shocked every time, as if we expect the world to suddenly behave. But here's a truth the Stoics knew well. Suffering increases when you demand that reality be different than it is. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And what better way to challenge that estimate than with a laugh? Because laughter isn't weakness, it's resistance. It's your soul refusing to be shaped by pettiness. Aristotle observed that laughter is a trait unique to humans. That tells you something. It's a tool we can use to cut through tension and shrink problems down to their actual size. Think about it. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You can slam the horn and stew for hours, or you can exhale, smile, and think, yep, there it is. Chaos doing its thing. It's the same moment, but a completely different energy. Carl Jung added another layer, saying, even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The message is to expect some mess, and when it arrives, choose how to meet it. Practice. Adopt a new reflex. When something silly happens, before you react, grin. Even if it's just for a second. This is your secret weapon against the tyranny of petty things. Let that grin remind you that you are bigger than the moment. You're here to move through life with grace, and sometimes that grace begins with a laugh. 4. Think long game, not instant wins. The wisdom of strategic retreat. There is a quiet strength in walking away from a fight you know you could win. Not because you are afraid, but because deep down you know that peace is more valuable than proving a point. The real power move isn't dominating the argument. It's not needing to. How many bridges have you burned for the momentary pleasure of being right? Think of how many times you've won an argument only to feel that strange, empty feeling afterward. That's because the goal wasn't truth, it was control, and control rarely brings peace. The Stoics had a word for this inner calm, apatheia, a state of tranquility that isn't thrown off by other people's chaos. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire, wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, don't lower yourself to meet someone in their mess. Rise above it. When someone triggers us, it's rarely just about them. It's about our own need to be seen, to be heard, to be right. But not every trigger deserves a response. Plato believed that self-mastery was the highest form of freedom. If you always need the last word, you aren't free. You're hooked, pulled by anyone who knows how to push your buttons. This isn't about being passive, it's about discernment. It's about asking yourself in the moment, is this conversation worth my energy, or is it just noise? Socrates, famously said, "Strong minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Weak minds discuss people." When a conversation devolves into gossip or ego, choosing to walk away isn't a loss. It's a masterstroke. Practice, zoom out. Ask yourself, what kind of life am I trying to build? You can win the argument and still lose the connection, your composure, and yourself. The real win is knowing when to defend your truth and when to simply walk away with your dignity intact. 5. Turn emotional. Control into a game, the gamification of serenity. There's a quiet pride in staying unbothered. Not in a fake, I don't care way, but in a deeply intentional way that says, I choose peace over pettiness. Life gives you plenty of reasons to react. People cut in line, someone talks down to you. But what if you flip the script and turn those moments into training reps for your mind? This is where the Stoics were ahead of their time. They aimed to master everything. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." So if someone's attitude ruins your day, it's not their fault. It's a sign your inner world needs work. Here's the new approach. Make calm a game. Imagine a personal scoreboard for serenity. Start counting how many times today you could have reacted but chose not to. That's your scoreboard. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you breathe and let it go. Boom, a point for your inner strength. Someone gives you a snarky comment. You smile and stay cool. Another win. This transforms self-control from a chore into a challenge. Aristotle once said, "What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do." You can always fire back, but it's the moments when you choose not to that build character. That's self-mastery. Carl Jung added that, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Every time you snap without thinking, you're being led by old habits. When you pause and respond with intention, you are rewiring your own brain. Practice. Try it. Track your calm like a high score. Each moment you stay grounded is proof you're leveling up. Every time you choose not to react, you prove to yourself that you are not here to be easily shaken. You are here to lead yourself. And that's the real game worth playing. 6. Accept life as it is, not as you wish it to be. The liberation of reality. There's an exhausting thing most of us do without even realizing it. We build mental scripts for how other people should behave. We expect our friends to always show up, our partner to never hurt us, our boss to be fair. And when they inevitably go off script, we feel disappointed, betrayed, and confused. But here's the part we don't admit. The script was ours. We just forgot to tell them they were cast in a play we wrote. The philosopher Epictetus offered a simple, profound truth. Some things are up to us, and some are not. That's it. That's the dividing line of sanity, and it's a hard pill to swallow until you realize how much peace is hidden inside that awareness. The moment you stop expecting people to be different than they are and start focusing on how you respond, you reclaim your sanity. You suffer less when you stop arguing with reality. Plato once said, "Reality is created by the mind." We can change our reality by changing our mind. This is the core of Stoic practice. Carl Jung added to this when he wrote, "We cannot change anything until we accept it." Think about that. The longer you resist what is, the longer it owns you. You get stuck in an endless loop of asking, why are they like this? That question never brings clarity, it just drains you. Practice. Instead, ask the Stoic question, what is in my control right now? Not, how can I make them change? But, can I control the space I give them in my mind? Can I control my reaction? Acceptance isn't giving up, it's leveling up. It's saying, I see this for what it is. I don't love it, but I will not let it own me. That is where your true power begins. 7. Stop taking everything personally. The freedom of depersonalization. We are wired to take things personally. It's almost automatic. A coworker gives a cold stare, a friend pulls away, someone doesn't text back, and our minds jump straight to self-blame. Did I do something wrong? Are they mad at me? But here's the crucial insight. Most of the time, it's not about you at all. The truth is, people carry entire worlds inside of them, unseen stress, insecurities, pain. And sometimes you just happen to be standing nearby when those things leak out. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, would prepare himself each morning by saying the people he'd meet would be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. This wasn't pessimism. It was preparation. He understood that people act from their own inner noise, not as a personal attack on him. When someone's actions sting, it's often a signal pointing back to something inside of us, an old wound, a need for validation. The mistake is thinking their behavior is a reflection of your worth. It's not. Imagine the weight that lifts from your shoulders when you realize their bad mood isn't a commentary on your value. That's freedom. Plato taught that we see the world not as it is, but as we are. Our own filters can twist a neutral event into something that feels deeply personal. The Stoic practice is to distinguish appearances from reality, to pause and ask, what else could this mean? Practice. Create emotional distance. Remind yourself over and over if needed, what if this isn't even about me? That single thought is a shield, soft but strong. Stop filling in their silence with your self-blame. You are not responsible for the storm someone else is fighting. You are only responsible for not letting it drag you under. 8. Anger wrecks. Things, it doesn't fix them. The illusion of explosive power. There's something addictive about anger. In the moment, it feels like armor. It feels like power, like control. But then the dust settles and what's left? Regret, distance, broken trust that might never fully heal. Anger is a master of disguise. It shows up dressed as strength, but deep down, it's often just fear or pain looking for an exit. It tells you that exploding is the only way to be heard, but really, it's the easiest way to lose your ground. Anger is like the friend who hypes you up for a fight and then disappears when the real consequences arrive, leaving you to clean up the mess alone. The Stoics knew this well. When you react in anger, you might win the moment, but you lose the relationship, the respect, your peace. Plato believed true courage is knowing what not to fear, and often we fear looking weak. We think staying calm is surrendering power, when in reality it's the highest form of control. The person who can stay centered when everything is spinning, that's not weakness, that's strength with roots. Aristotle once said, anybody can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time, for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. That is the art of emotional discipline. Practice. Use your fire wisely. Let it warm, not scorch. This means channeling anger's energy into something productive. Let it fuel a boundary, not a blow-up. Let it sharpen your clarity, not your tongue. The next time the fire rises, pause, not because you're scared, but because you respect yourself enough not to burn everything down. Real power doesn't come from yelling louder, it comes from staying calm longer. 9. Resentment is heavy. Let it go. There's a quiet weight we carry when we hold on to pain, not the initial sting, but the story we attach to it. The grudge, the resentment, the constant replaying of what someone did. And every time you think about it, you feel that sting again, recycling the same hurt. It's exhausting. Here's the hard truth. The person who hurt you probably isn't thinking about it anymore. They've moved on while they continue to live rent-free in your mind. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You are the only one suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." In other words, don't let their cruelty turn you into a prisoner of your own bitterness. That isn't justice, that's surrendering your peace. Carl Jung offered the path to freedom. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. That's the shift. Letting go isn't about erasing the past, it's about refusing to let it define your future. Plato taught that the soul is harmed more by injustice committed than injustice received. When you hold a grudge, you are prolonging your own suffering, tethering your peace to someone who may never make it right. Practice. Say it out. Loud, just for yourself. This happened, it hurt, but it's over. Not because it was okay or fair, but because you are done letting it hold you hostage. Say it for your own sanity. Letting go means you are finally choosing to stop carrying something that no longer serves your growth. Now you can walk forward lighter and freer. 10. You're not here to fix everyone. The art of leading. By example. One of the quickest ways to lose your peace is trying to manage everyone else's life. It starts from a noble place, wanting to help, to guide, to protect. But somewhere along the way, that helpfulness becomes control, and suddenly your mood is tied to their decisions. Your energy is spent chasing their change. It's a losing game. Here's the truth. You can't control people. Not your partner, not your kids, not your friends. You can influence, you can inspire, but you can never control. The Stoics were crystal clear about this. Epictetus taught that some things are in our control and others not. We suffer when we forget which is which. We think if we just care hard enough, people will change. But change doesn't happen on your timeline. It happens on theirs, if at all. Carl Jung offered a powerful insight. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Instead of trying to fix everyone else, start with yourself. Are you modeling the calm and clarity you wish they had? Are you showing what growth looks like, not just demanding it? Socrates believed true wisdom was knowing how little we truly know, and that applies doubly to other people's paths. Practice. Your real job is not to micromanage grown adults. It's to lead by example, to release people from the unspoken contract that says, you must change so I can be okay. Let them walk their path, because the freedom you give them also frees you. 11. Catch the story. You're telling yourself the power of internal narrative. It's wild how quickly the mind fills in the blanks. Something small happens. Someone forgets to reply to a message, gives you a weird look, and within seconds your brain has built an entire story around it. A story where you are the one who's overlooked, disrespected, or not good enough. And before you know it, you're not just reacting to what happened, you're reacting to the story you told yourself about what happened. This is where the Stoics bring us back to center. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, you don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. That single line is a lifeline. It reminds us there's always a choice between the stimulus and the story we create. We can jump to assumptions, or we can pause and examine the narrative. Carl Jung had a similar insight. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. In other words, if you don't start questioning the stories you've absorbed from your past, you'll keep reacting the same way and blaming the outside world. Empower it. Practice. Use the ACD method. Awareness, control, direction. First, awareness. Catch the moment your body tightens or your mind starts racing. That's the signal. Second, control. Slow your response. Breathe. Count to 5. Finally, direction. This is where the real power lies. Choose a better, more grounded interpretation. Maybe they didn't ignore you. Maybe they were just busy. You can't always control what happens, but you can absolutely rewrite the script your mind runs with. 12. Solve more, argue less, shifting from combat to collaboration. Let's be honest, most of us don't walk into an argument looking for clarity. We walk in looking for a win. Deep inside, a voice says, I need to be right, and that's where the trouble begins. Once ego takes the wheel, the actual problem becomes secondary. The conversation turns into a battle of pride, not a search for understanding. Socrates believed that real, open dialogue was the foundation of wisdom. But how often do we actually do that? Too often, we're not listening to understand. We're listening to reload, crafting our comeback while the other person is still talking. That's not communication, it's combat. The Stoics warned about this. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This isn't just a clever saying, it's a strategic advantage. In heated moments, the most radical thing you can do is stay calm. When you feel that sting, it's often your own insecurity or fear being touched. If you can see that, you stop reacting and start responding. Practice. Imagine approaching an argument with a different goal, not to win, but to resolve. Lower your voice. It disarms tension. Then ask better questions. Instead of, "How could you say that?" try, "What made you feel that way?" Instead of, "What's your problem?" try, "Help me understand." Genuinely. Those 3 words can take the heat out of almost any conflict. When everyone else is reactive, the calmest person becomes the anchor. They don't just calm themselves, they calm the room. 13. Your body knows before you do, the wisdom of physical awareness. Sometimes your body knows the storm is coming before your mind does. Your jaw is tight, your chest feels heavy, your breath is short, then like clockwork something small sets you off. But if we're being honest, it wasn't that one comment. The trigger was just the last drop. The tension had been building long before, and your body tried to warn you. Modern psychology backs this up. Carl Jung once said, "The body is the unconscious mind." That tight chest, that knot in your stomach, they aren't random. They are messages, signals that something in your inner world needs attention. And most of us don't listen. We push it down, distract ourselves, until one small thing becomes a full-blown explosion. The Stoics understood this pattern. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. But how can we adjust our view when we're already spiraling? That's where bodily awareness comes in. When you notice tension early, you get a chance to stop the spiral before it takes over. Socrates believed the secret to change is to focus your energy on building the new, not fighting the old. Learning to tune into your body is building that new foundation. Practice. The next time you feel that inner squeeze, pause. Don't judge it, just notice it. Breathe in deeply through your nose, hold for a second, and exhale slowly. Then ask yourself, what am I really reacting to? Not what just happened, but what it's hitting inside you. Is it rejection? Is it fear? Your body is an early warning system. Listen to it. It's your ally. 14. Protect your attention like it's gold, your most valuable resource. Every day, your attention is up for grabs. And not just from ads, but from people. People who want a reaction, who push your buttons, who drain your energy. Your attention is the most precious resource you own. Every second, the world tries to steal it. The internet troll, the co-worker who thrives on drama, the ex who reappears just to see if they still have access to you. They all want something from you, even if it's just your emotional presence. But the Stoics understood something critical. Not everyone deserves your reaction. Not every voice deserves your energy. Carl Jung wrote, "What you resist persists." The more you engage with things that drain you out of pride, anger, or habit, the more those things grow in your mind. That one negative comment becomes an inner dialogue that can last for hours. And you wonder why you feel exhausted, scattered, and frustrated. Socrates believed the key to a meaningful life was knowing which things matter. That's the filter you need. Before you respond, before you even engage, ask yourself a powerful question. Does this deserve me? That's the shift. Instead of reacting to everything, you start curating your mental space like it's your most valuable property, because it is. Practice. Your attention is currency. If you spend it on nonsense, you go broke where it actually matters. On your peace, on your clarity, on your joy. Every response you give to something that doesn't deserve it is energy you've taken away from what does. Guard it. Let the noise fade away and keep your eyes on the life you are building. 15. Gratitude. Instant peace and the cheat code for calm. Sometimes the smallest shift in perspective can change everything. One thought, one moment of awareness, and suddenly the emotional storm loses its grip. That is the quiet power of gratitude. It doesn't yell, but it has an almost magical ability to calm the chaos within. Now think about this for a second. You cannot be genuinely angry and genuinely grateful at the same time. Try it. Anger says, "This isn't fair." Gratitude says, "But I still have this." You cannot walk in two directions at once, and that's why gratitude is the ultimate reset button. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, even while dealing with war and betrayal, wrote, "Don't hanker after what you don't have. Instead, think of the blessings you do have and how much you'd miss them if they were gone." This isn't just a nice idea, it's a strategy for emotional survival. Carl Jung noted that no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything's fine. It means acknowledging the darkness and still seeing the light. Plato taught that the soul becomes wise through reflection. And what is gratitude if not reflection in motion? It pulls you out of the spinning story in your head and brings you back to the present moment, to what is still good, still true, still yours. Practice. The next time you feel that heat in your chest, that urge to lash out, pause and name 3 things you're grateful for right there in that moment. They don't have to be big things, they just have to be real. Anger narrows your world. Gratitude opens it up. It doesn't fix everything, but it gives you the clarity to stop being consumed by the problem. That is the cheat code. In the end, it all comes down to this. Your peace was never about the noise around you. It was always about the dormant strength within you. And every time you choose clarity over chaos, presence over reaction, you are not just surviving, you are finally awakening. If this journey and these principles ignited a flame in you, then make that flame grow. Consider subscribing, leaving a like, and sharing this video, not for us, but for that person who, just like you, is one step away from discovering their own strength. Each gesture signals that you are walking this path with intention. And the journey to your freedom doesn't have to end here. There's more waiting for you. The next step is one click away. Tap into the next video on screen. It was made with the same heart, the same depth, and the same mission, to help you rise, not just react. Thank you for being part of this community. Remember, you are not alone on this path. Your presence here means more than you know. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, and when the world pulls, find your way back to your unshakable center.